Brown guy with tattoos. I think I'm covered. We're looking for a brown guy with tattoos. Perfect.
Is that the AK day?
That was the AK day. So
Chest blasted?
chest. He just won.
How about this? We'll give something for the listeners. All right.
Dude, if people understood that they can get slapped at any fucking point in time, they would legitimately shut the fuck up. Fucking take the labels off of this shit. If they want to drink the bleach, drink the bleach. So day drinking, and I was like,
I caught that. I'm like, motherfucker! It's 11.
We're at
It's
work.
11 o'clock.
It's 11 o'clock in the morning.
Work at least.
It's 11
I
o'clock
was
in the
at work
morning.
too, but I was like, yes.
Now it's time for you to talk about blood dick.
Right.
Why the fuck were you guys talking about that before the fucking episode? Hashtag blood dick.
So awesome.
Listen, welcome to the Covert Standard.
Straight into it. Ow.
We are going straight into it. What's going on, people?
Oh, shit.
That's right. You are listening to the Covert Standard. I am the Nitro Panda, and I am here with the family. Y'all know him well. I'm going to introduce you guys again for like the 100 millionth time. We got Bad Karma Live. I've got Clear Malfunction, and I got El Jefe here. And there are so many topics going on in the news right now, and we are going to hit them today. But first, we have a sponsor, and our sponsor is StoneColdWorks.com. Stone Cold Works is a cerakoting company. What?
But I love how you're the only one that makes this thing legitimate.
Like, hello, and thank you.
Yep. Yeah.
So
Tomorrow.
Stone Cold Works is basically our Cerakote shop. That basically Cerakoting is your heated Cerakote
Heat-activated.
polymer.
It's a heat-activated Cerakote or ceramic-based paint.
He rattle cans things just more efficiently.
A better quality rattle
way more
can.
durable.
A coating.
Reapply.
So if you got your firearms at home and you are a firearm enthusiast like we are, and you want to go ahead and deck that thing out or Gucci it out, if you will, just go ahead and send it over to StoneColdWorks.com. Let him know that Covert Standard sent you over there, and he'll hook up.
He did Gucci paint before.
He did Louis Vuitton one.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen Gucci, but I've seen Louis Vuitton.
I think it was a Louis Vuitton that I was thinking.
I haven't gotten my AK. I hit him up finally.
Did you? What did
Yes,
he say?
he
was like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot.
Yeah, well, that's what he should have said, but it was more like it'll be finished in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Like it's been.
That was his way of saying, "Oh shit, I forgot."
Yeah, that's basically what it is. But anyway, it's cool. It's fine. I told him I didn't worry about it anyway. I didn't put a deadline on it
that's
anyway.
the problem. When you gave it to me, like, just get it to me whenever. He's like, I will see you in 6 months.
Well, I mean,
I'll see you next year when you remember.
All right. Well, when you call me about it, I'll
the
start working
world
on
might end, and I don't mind having an extra AK. So we'll see when he asks for this.
yeah, right. It's probably exactly what's going on right now.
See how long it took you to forget about it.
Yeah, I don't forget.
It's his now.
He's gonna claim.
You got so
There's
many
like a statute of limitations
so many
of
dicks
how
on that gun.
like how long you can hold somebody's property before it's theirs, and he's trying to hold on to it for that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's not going to work.
A few more days.
Anyway, so there's so many things happening in the news right now, in the world right now, and a lot of it is based around what's going on in our communities, in our culture. It obviously has to deal with everything that's happening within our politicians as well, and a lot of these things involve either law enforcement or some sort of firearm as well. And this is what all the points that everybody keeps trying to hit on. So I would like to dive into what we were starting to talk about beforehand, D, if you want to.
The Jacob Blake thing.
Yes.
So, like, last Saturday, I had a Zoom meeting with some of my more liberal friends because they were trying to talk about this.
Shit, getting official.
Yeah, they just didn't know what the fuck they were talking about.
That's what I said too, yeah.
I was like, I don't have time to do this through text. So if you want me to explain this shit to you, let's set up a fucking meeting. So we had a few beers and bullshit and got a chance to caught up. But I also like went over some of this stuff. And like, at the time, I wasn't willing to be 100% firm on it about the Jacob Blake case and him having a knife in his hand.
How about now?
Now I absolutely am. He had a knife in his hand when he was walking around the van. So they tackled him on the ground and tased him. He got up. He had a knife in his hand. The officers recognized that. They drew their guns. They kept their distance. They tried to give verbal commands. He was refusing and got into his vehicle. The hearsay that I still haven't got confirmed is that supposedly he was saying he was going to get his gun from his vehicle. But what is very easy to be heard on even the crappy cell phone footage is them demanding him to drop the weapon before he's around that vehicle. So they're telling him to drop the weapon. He goes in to reach into the vehicle, and the officer can't just try to grab him and tackle him and tase him again. He's got a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
And so now at this point he has to make a choice, and that's why his choice was to shoot him and then secure him and then administer aid, which happened exactly in that order, and that's why he's still alive. But all people want to hear is, well, he got shot in the back 7 times.
Yeah,
So,
That's all that's being talked about.
There was another story too that almost went a little viral. Like there was already protests in the city because a bunch of people were freaking out. It was like, "Why'd you shoot that guy? Why'd you shoot that guy?" But there was like cell phone video of him putting a gun in his mouth and pulling the trigger.
Yeah, it's Minneapolis.
Yeah, he shot himself because they were closing in because he was wanted for murder or something.
Mm-hmm.
So they get around him. He gets in like the corner of this rotating door in the
Oh,
wall
I know what
thing.
you're talking
He gets
about,
in
yeah.
there, puts it in there, and pulls the trigger and hunches over. And like everybody, like seconds after that, you see them trying to do first aid, which he shot himself in the face. So
sure.
yeah,
But you still have to.
yeah, of course. And then you can see people screaming, "Why'd you shoot him? Why'd you?" Like there's clear video of it afterwards, but like in the moment, everyone
sure.
thought
I mean,
it was
the
like
Jacob
an
Blake
active
thing-
shooting, and it's kind of like
The cops were responding to a fight that Jacob was trying to break up.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
he just was trying to walk away, and then that's where the altercation happened. That was the original story.
that was the story.
That's
yeah.
not what happened
No,
at all.
he was waving a knife around, and
Well,
That's-
so he initially I had heard that he had a warrant out for his arrest to do with a 3rd-degree sexual assault.
Yeah.
That's incorrect. He had a warrant out for his arrest for grand theft, so theft over $1,000.
Yeah.
He had a pending case against the female for 3rd-degree sexual assault and a restraining order against him and the female. The female is the one who called the cops. They were getting into a violent altercation, and
so he was fighting with her.
Yes,
with the
and
one
he-
that has the restraining order.
correct, and he stole her keys.
Win.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
I'm getting
Sorry.
fucking quizzed over here.
Yeah,
so-
sorry. Florida 750 for grand theft. But
750.
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
When did all that
Stupid.
come out officially that he had a knife? Was that recent?
I mean, I still haven't read it from the police report officially.
In
I'd
the
say
photo,
there-
it
there's
looked
no
like it, but
official.
it could have been a key or some shit too.
It's a
'cause
karambit.
It's a grainy.
It's a karambit.
That's what I thought when I seen it.
And that's what I thought too. But then again, when we
It's a
watched the
shitty
Kyle
video. It
thing,
could have been anything in his hand.
when we watched the Kyle thing the first few days, I could have swore I watched a Molotov cocktail get thrown.
Yeah,
It
and there was
turns
something
out
in
it
the
was an
bag.
object in a fucking plastic bag, and it was
Yep.
just the lighting.
Yeah.
So
Molotov.
that's what I said in the meeting on Saturday of like, listen, I'm going to not die on this hill. This is what it seems to be, but I don't know because I haven't read anything official yet. But
The guy shooting in the air, though, is kind of what
hold on, that's
yeah.
a
We'll
whole
get-
other,
we'll get to the-
yeah.
yeah.
I don't want to switch subjects so quickly, but to wrap up the Blake thing, I mean, seeing what appears to be a knife in his hand in conjunction with the officers verbally telling him to drop the weapon, and then the knife being in the vehicle. They're like, well, the knife was in the vehicle. Yeah, he was in the vehicle when he got shot.
Yeah.
So he's reaching in his vehicle, got shot, and dropped the knife. What's complicated about this?
Yeah. And it's possible. Hey, whatever was in his hand, which it did look a lot like a karambit. When I first seen the photo of it, that's what I was thinking.
I don't think that there's room for doubt in this anymore. He had a fucking knife in his vehicle.
If they were
He had
giving
a
him
knife-
commands,
he had
then
a
they
thing that-
absolutely thought he had a knife.
He had a thing
They
that looked like a
absolutely had
knife in
reason
his
to think
hand.
it.
They demanded that he drop the weapon. He reaches into his vehicle, and then they find a knife on the floor where he was reaching around in the vehicle.
Mhm.
So I don't know where the room for doubt is there. That there.
What
was,
did he say he was going for in the vehicle? The
That,
rumor.
the rumor
that is
allegedly-
hearsay. That is
Okay.
total hearsay.
Yeah,
I didn't hear that in the video, but
gun.
that is the rumors that
Yeah.
he said he was going to go get a
Allegedly,
gun.
you said he was going for
that he was going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go get my gun.
Okay.
Is what they said, or what is allegedly said by him. So when he opened up the vehicle,
Did they
were
find a
trying to
gun in the
pull
car?
him. I don't know or don't.
What
believe
I
they
want to
did.
know is, do these
Probably has
officers
a-
have body cams?
Well,
It's not
they
gonna be
usually
released for
hold
a little
those for a
bit.
little bit. It'll
I
get
understand,
released, but
I understand. But did they have body cams?
they should.
I fucking hope they do. I really do.
Well, body cam footage is what saves a lot of these things.
I
I was
know.
about to say it depends on the agency
I
because
know.
most agencies around us is like the week after, like, oh shit, did he do wrong? Did he not do wrong? Okay, here's the video, and
Yeah,
for
they hold
that
on to
one,
it for a little bit.
a majority of the
Well, think
fucking
about the Floyd thing.
go up north. They want to fucking hold on to it for a very long time.
Yeah, because it's a political movement.
Yeah.
And it's not a sheriff's office, it's a police department. And they don't want anything to come out to possibly make it look like their
Even
officers
more
did right.
Municipality.
It's
against-
also investigation too, so they want to do investigations first before releasing.
Yeah, but you can't tell me that shit about George Floyd has to do with investigations.
Well, I also don't know. I
don't
hate
believe
I
it.
hate being the I don't want to believe it either. I want to believe that this was absolutely a political ploy, but I also don't want to put my opinion out in something that I just don't know how they operate. I don't know how
They charge the motherfucker before they even did an investigation.
they charge.
don't give a
They
fuck.
charge. Listen, they charge people now based off of a video. Period. Like for whatever reason, the news came out and charged the kid
Drove me
before
crazy.
anything ever happened. The kid already had. Oh, he's facing this and facing that and facing this. They didn't fucking charge him yet. He never got any of these fucking charges yet. But the media posting a video, all of a sudden.
No, he got 6 charges
I
against
was
him.
about to say,
No,
he
now,
got 6
now,
charges.
yes, now. But what I'm saying is when they were
okay.
reporting it, like minutes, hours later, whatever, they were immediately saying charges.
Yeah, I didn't
And he
hear
did-
that.
Yeah,
He got arrested the next day. I
And-
didn't hear anybody say
Oh,
he had
oh.
charges until the next
it's
until
the media.
yeah, because I
said it.
watched videos all day,
Mhm.
and then later that night charges dropped.
Yeah, well, the media was like, well, he's facing this, and this, but there's it's all empty shit. They don't know what he's facing.
Well,
It could have been
they're just
somebody
trying to
from the
use their-
department
because
to
the
leaking some
charges
shit.
read to me as being politically motivated, so maybe they were just getting the information before it officially dropped.
Yeah.
What I'm
That
saying is,
wouldn't
It could have
baffle
very
me.
easily been someone in the department saying, "Hey, heads up,
This is
what's
what
going
we're
to
going to
happen."
do.
I'm not saying that that's what the official charges were. What I'm saying is the media will come out and say, well, he's facing manslaughter, but don't know what the fuck's he's facing, or don't know what they just say it just to get a rouse out of people for watching what they're watching.
That's because they could have cold called somebody too, and be like, "Hey, so if somebody did this, what kind of charges do you think they would have got?" You know what I mean?
However,
And
they got the
and
information, sure, but there was no official.
Yeah.
There's nothing official about what they're saying.
Of course.
I
They're
mean-
just saying things.
I mean, that happens.
Are you saying that online journalists aren't good?
What? No.
I'm confused. So yeah,
I don't know if that's
do we have anything to
board
add?
material or
Well, it's public.
Oh.
It's what I'm saying is it's public execution is what it is. Like
course.
via
Oh.
media.
weird.
So
a lot of that going
so
on.
they basically, they believe in first hand accountability. Like everybody's a lawyer all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They look at a video, like, oh no, he didn't have anything. He shot him in the back, so that's wrong because he shot him in the back. And then everybody releases their opinion. But the media outlets that I would think are supposed to be there to inform people, at least on a fair basis, immediately go, no, he's facing murder charges, but don't actually know what he's going to be facing until they actually press charges on him.
I hope I didn't talk about this on the last podcast. If I did, I apologize. But this has been going through my head a lot of like, I feel like in around 2010, I mean, it'd been leading up, but around 2010, it started getting more and more serious of like, everything was political. All these companies had to take political statements and movements, and everything started getting politicized. And then now we're just at this like fucking pinnacle of it to where literally everything's political. So that's why you get like when a shooting like that happens, it is political in these people's minds. So because he was not on the right side, that's where that's going to go. If he was on the other side, they would either lie about it or downplay it.
I feel like this happened. Actually, that's probably a good point. It probably didn't happen at the beginning of the Obama administration, but it damn sure happened in the middle of his administration onto his next election. I think 2010 is fair to say. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that's exactly what happened. I think a lot of it is more
Like literally everything has to be political.
Yeah.
Don't enjoy sports anymore. What's your fucking hobby? Well, you can't enjoy that shit anymore. I've heard crazy stories of women that were like relatively liberal that have like just gone full swing Trump support because they were into like what's the fucking like the thing grandmas do where they like knitting? Yeah, they were in like
crocheting.
They were in a crocheting fucking
I don't know how to spell
group
it.
online.
I can't spell it though.
And it got so avidly like furiously political. Like everything has to be political.
Crocheting was political.
Yes.
Because
Yes,
people in
hard
there,
fucking
people
core.
in the group were sharing their political opinions.
That
makes
not
sense 'cause
only that,
people-
but you could not fucking. You had to toe the line.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. It kind of gets to the point of like religion. You know, they become so much of somebody's identity that when you criticize that political stance, you're criticizing them as a person, and not just that one stance that you might be wrong on, and then we might agree on
There's
something
no
else.
room for that.
No. You're criticizing me when you're criticizing my political opinions. Too many people get wrapped up in that, and because when for instance, you're talking about a hobby. If other people in the hobby share that, hobbies also become part of your identity, right? So there's too many things happening there for it to not become a big issue in somebody's life very easily.
I missed him.
When you're not paying attention.
Probably talking to the wrong crowd. I'm at least going to shift to asking you two. I've heard.
Fuck you, Chase.
I'll be over here. I'll be over here. Jeff, man.
Fred's on the board. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I heard that the NBA is just totally like stopped completely because they said
Okay,
that they were.
ask Fred that.
Because they said,
Are you assuming because I'm brown that I like the NBA?
Yes.
Because I really don't. I don't like the NBA at all.
Yes.
I don't pay attention to that.
I don't watch the
Would you
NBA at all.
let him finish his question first?
Chase could give two fucks about all sports. So
Yeah.
that's why I
Well,
shifted.
Very bold.
That's
Yes,
why-
you're
that's-
absolutely right.
That's where I'm at too. Unless it involves shooting.
That's why he just. That's
no.
why he got on his phone. He's like, "Yeah, fuck it. I'm not talking about."
What's
this
your
one."
question? Go ahead. I'll do my best.
Supposedly that they shut down completely because they said it was unsafe.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not
Political movement for the
it's
Chinese
a political movement.
that is supporting the left.
Yes.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I thought that it was a political movement, but I thought the political move was America is too unsafe for them to play basketball. I thought that's what I've understood.
Had nothing to do with the
Oh,
virus.
like the cities and stuff.
No, because as far as I knew, they were operating out of Orlando, weren't they? I thought they were all in hotels and going to the Orlando Magic Stadium and just playing all the games were just filmed there. But
Because the one stadium has to be set up with all the fucking shit.
basically,
in the stands and-
everybody's isolated,
I
so
gotcha.
you didn't have to worry about COVID.
I gotcha.
So they had everybody locked down to where the only people that were coming in contact were other NBA players.
Yeah.
But
No, it's them protesting. It's them protesting against what's happening with the
Right.
shootings. That's what it is.
specifically, I thought I heard them say because it's unsafe.
They might have. I don't
Probably.
really.
That's probably their reasoning. Yeah.
I really don't give two shits about their fucking opinion about it anyway. So I really don't know if that's what it really was. But
You know what it really, really was? They didn't want to be fucking locked down.
Probably.
They're like, this is bullshit.
Probably
man. I
wanted to
got
go
some
home.
pussy waiting for me back
it's
home.
probably exactly what it is.
Yeah, fucking BLM.
Yeah.
Like,
Missing the family, want to go the fuck home, get the fuck out of here for a
I
little
could
bit.
not believe it when I fucking saw
They are
the-
living proof.
the Black Lives Matter painted on the fucking court side, and then all their names are on the back. They aren't on the back of their jerseys anymore. It's like fucking bullshit sayings.
Well, what I don't get,
Ugh.
is that they want to protest against it, but they're living proof that you can be of that color, black. If we really want to be so simple minded to look at a fucking color and just say that they made it, they
It's
are
not just that.
successful.
It's not just
they
that.
are rich.
They're
they
standing
are
up
wealthy.
for that. But the whole China thing went down how long ago? And they were like, no, we can't say anything bad about
Not
China.
that long ago.
We can't say anything about the guy in the stands who was like, showing support for Hong Kong.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
we
they
got to
gotta
get
follow
him the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not going to
Not
say any,
weird.
well, not weird to say anything.
I think he was season pass holder
yeah,
too.
not willing to say anything bad about people fighting for their freedom in Hong Kong.
It's complicated. All right,
Are we still on sports? Can I come back in yet? Or- We're still on sports. I'll be over here.
we can be done with sports.
Okay.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I
what they were doing.
don't care what.
Did someone want to go over
shit
something
is.
with the Kyle fiasco?
Yeah.
Was there questions? Did you have
The
something?
question I
That
asked,
it's
that
awesome.
right before we started was because what I was hearing, which this is
he did what a lot of people say they're going to do.
Yeah.
Just saying. He a 17-year-old.
So is he going to join the Not Fucking Around coalition?
Because he's not fucking around.
Yeah, he should.
I haven't heard anything about
I
them.
haven't
I
either.
don't
and
know
love
if he
them
can.
so
I don't-
much.
I don't know if he can because none of
can.
it was an ND.
Oh, Jeff on the board again with another one.
None of his
Jesus.
shots were negligent.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, he did miss one once.
He did miss a shot.
Yeah, well, he can't do it. He didn't shoot 3 friendlies.
But was it negligence?
No.
It was just, oh shit.
When you
Yeah.
miss, you got to hit a friend.
In order to be.
All right.
No, the last thing I heard was him giving that nonsense instructional video
that was
on what an AR.
I love
Him-
NFA.
after
they're,
that,
they're so
nothing.
awesome.
Him- There's
and,
nothing.
And the guy we were talking about a while back,
because he's been
the
criticized.
Black Guns Matter guy, was talking about him. And was like, yeah, I talked with him and we were going to do this, but he was standing by that statement. And I'm like, I can't fucking, I had to call him out on that. I'm like, you can't, you're seriously standing by the bolt went home and that's what fired it. And I guess in their
Yeah, but-
private conversation, that guy was like, yeah, that's what caused it.
But it
Yeah.
wasn't even
He's
an
a fucking idiot.
AR that went off.
The guy's a fucking idiot.
No,
but I haven't heard
no,
about them.
you keep drinking.
But all my
Thank you.
pieces before we start diving into it is that I think that he did exactly what he said he was going to do. A lot of people are talking shit, but he was there. He wanted to do good. His intentions were to do good and to defend. And I mean, fuck.
But
He did it.
before
I heard he was a white supremacist that beats women.
that shot other white people,
I heard
I mean,
that. I heard
there's a
that
lot
too.
of other things
I
too.
like that all of his Facebook is like pro police and he wants to be a cop when
He's
he gets
obsessed
old.
with cops.
Yeah, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So of course that's white supremacist,
And of course, all
of this.
the video of
So,
him.
hold
as-
on.
I
You
love
see
it
the
so
video
So
of him
since
as a
I
kid.
love cops, I'm a white
Upset-
supremacist.
No.
You are. I don't
No,
know if
if
you know
you
this.
post anything Blue Lives Matter and you follow like back the badge or anything like that,
I do. I do follow them.
You're obsessed with cops.
And you're racist.
I'm a white, but am I a white supremacist?
Yes.
Huh.
Because look
If
at the room.
So
no,
Tila
no,
could be
so
a
I
white
do-
supremacist.
no,
So can you.
Hold on. So do I get the privilege? Because that's what I really
No,
want.
no, no. Look
No,
at the
no,
room. First and foremost, look at the room.
Yeah.
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 You fucked up. There's two
dude.
white guys right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Multicultural.
Excuse you?
Multicultural.
Excuse
Thank you very much.
All right. Let's go. Sorry.
Multi-Norwegian?
Everybody should hate me, not everybody else. All right. Viking blood means
Because you were one.
He's talking about
I've
multi-European.
taken everybody.
I think
cultures.
he's the
That's what he's
Aryan
saying.
one, isn't he?
Yeah.
Who's got blue eyes here?
He says Norwegian, but
Yeah.
he says Norwegian, but we all know that they all just raped and pillaged. So he's just like a bastard child
Thank
from
you.
one of them
And
that raped somebody in a village.
Still doing that. Not the raping part, though. Sorry, but pillaging part, yes.
So the question I had about it before we even started was because one of the things you're hearing is that being that he was 17 in possession of a long gun is illegal, and then of course if you know anything about self-defense laws, you can't really be in the commission of a crime and claim self-defense.
Incorrect.
That was the point that I wanted to
So
ask
I went
because
over
that's what
this-
other people have been saying.
I went over this in our last show. I don't know if it's going to air.
Dr. D.
I don't know if it's going to air the same way it was recorded, but I will tell you that initially I thought the 1 through 5 charges were going to get dropped against him, which were all essentially murder, attempted
change
murder,
his
and
Instagram name to
endangerment
Dr.
with a deadly
D?
weapon. The last
Indubitably.
He needs a pipe.
Dr. D. I
He
think
needs to
it's
be smoking a
official.
pipe when he does this.
the 6th charge.
Like with bubbles coming out of that bitch.
Oh, he hears
I need more alcohol for this show.
I'm sorry,
go ahead.
doctor. Please continue.
Please continue.
Please
I have
continue,
one
Dr.
in the
D.
other fridge that's open. So the last charge, the 6th charge, is being in open carrying a firearm under the age of 18. But apparently, since then, the lawyers come out and some more people have done some research, and they have determined that there's actually a law that says that if you're 16 or above and you are carrying a long gun, you're in the clear.
Okay. See, that's what when that was started coming out. My first thought was that's kind of a state law.
So they
so.
wrote it initially. The thing that's going to get him free of it is they wrote it with hunting in mind.
Of course, yeah.
But it still he qualifies for it.
Yeah, but once you can get the one thing out of the way, was it illegal for him to carry the gun?
Even
no, it was not illegal for him to carry the gun.
Even if it was, though. So the charge is a Class A misdemeanor.
Yeah.
So under the law of the Milwaukee of what they consider self-defense, what in the commission of a crime, because that is something they've carved out.
Yeah.
There's a duty to retreat at that point. You lose your stand your ground.
Yeah, and he retreated.
But he retreated.
Yes.
Every time he had the opportunity
Of course.
to. So even if oh goodness.
That's Dr. T.
Did you imagine bubbles when you heard that?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Because I imagined a bong. I definitely
that's
imagined
the
a
only
bong.
one
go
that had-
either way.
That's
It
the
could
only
go
one that,
either way.
yeah. So as Dr. D speaking, he's indubitably.
You need one of those fucking
I'm trying to-
jackets with the patches on the elbows.
No, I'm trying to find like a pipe that can fucking have like bubbles coming out of that motherfucker.
We're gonna buy it for you just so you can have it.
Yep,
here.
yep.
So
I know, okay, I get what you're saying though, because what you're saying, just carrying the gun is only a class A, right, misdemeanor, and he was already retreating because you lose your stand your ground privilege. You have to run.
Correct.
He ran. He did retreat and until he was incapable of retreating and
Right.
he had to act.
Back
But
into
what
the
I was
corner,
gonna what I was gonna get at is if you can knock the one out of the way without having to jump through other hoops, the other ones already kind of fall. You know what I mean? So if you can take out it wasn't illegal for him to carry
this
a gun.
thing isn't going to trial.
No, if you could take out it wasn't illegal for him to carry the gun, everything else kind of falls away too. Well, if it wasn't illegal for him to carry, his self-defense is already justified
Right.
because he wasn't.
But even if it was illegal for him to carry a gun, his self-defense is already justified.
because of the other law, because of the other thing that they already carved out. Exactly.
Because people were violently assaulting him.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
And there had to be something in that
With
fucking
weapons.
bag.
And he had a reasonable
with weapons.
Yeah, with the first one, plastic bags don't travel that fucking far.
So when I initially watched the video, I saw him throw the plastic bag, which I thought to be a Molotov cocktail that failed to go off. And I heard one shot, and then running, and then 4 more shots.
The shot was the guy behind him.
I thought
Yes.
initially just watching it though, I thought that was Kyle turning around taking a shot, and that is not the case.
Not him shooting.
Behind both of them was another guy that was trying to run after him, chase him, that shot around in his direction. He shot upwards, but towards them.
Run after Kyle or run after the guy chasing him?
Well, they're both running after Kyle.
Okay.
So he's behind Rittenhouse, though. So from Kyle's perspective, when
he turns around, he has a dude that just shot at him, and in between him and the dude that just shot at him is a guy who's already been violent towards him.
You're making the assumption he knows who fucking shot him.
No. What I'm saying is he turns around, he hears a gunshot, and here's a guy that's been violent at him.
Something gets thrown at him, and a gunshot goes off.
Of course.
He gets cornered, he turns around, and a guy is lunging towards him. Yeah. That's what the information he's got to go off of.
What I was saying wasn't an assumption that he had made. It wasn't me coming from that place. It's he turns around, and now he's facing a guy who's already been violent, and behind him is a guy who had fired a shot in his direction. Now, from his perspective, he doesn't know who did what. He just knows the closest guy to him has already been violent and is already lunging at him.
Sure.
And fights over the gun.
Right, he's going for the gun.
Yeah. Just like the kid with the skateboard.
Fires 4 rounds, causes 5 wounds.
Yeah.
1 wound through the hand into the thigh.
It gets better.
One wound into the pelvis that breaks his pelvis, and that's the one that kills him. Is actually the pelvis shot.
Bleeding out.
He bleeds out from that.
Because the one to the head was a grazing wound.
One grazing wound to the head, and 1 wound in the back somehow. So I wonder if it was like him motion, kind of turning and reaching, and it was like kind of under the arm. I don't know exactly where it was.
Like shot as they were fighting over it.
So there's that. And then obviously, the rest of what goes down. He runs further, and someone hits him. He runs a little bit further, and then stumbles and falls.
I was about to say he tripped when
he got hit before.
Okay,
he was running. Someone ran up and punched him really well while they were running. He ran about 7-10 more feet, and then stumbled and fell after he got punched. And then once he's on the ground, someone runs up and
tries
kicks
to stomp him.
Well, they kick him. They very successfully kick his ass.
That guy didn't get shot, though.
He gets shot at.
Yeah, he got shot at, but he didn't get
misses. Hit. Skateboard kid hits him in the fucking shoulder.
And he grabs the rifle.
He gets a fucking round to the chest that goes straight through his heart. He takes a couple steps and dies immediately.
He grabbed the rifle, too. You can see it with his other hand. It looked like he had tried to make an attempt
These
to
guys are having so much fun looking up bubble pipes.
Yes. See, that's what I envisioned when you were talking about Dr. D. Aviators, a little sailor hat, and a little pipe.
Oh my god! So I think
so. Whenever he's being smart, you got to get these things out.
Right?
So
We just have to keep it like right in front of fucking.
We'll have what we call the Dr. D segment.
Either
so
that,
as soon as he's like,
put
he's
your
like,
shit on D. Here we go.
Either that or the Sherlock Holmes hat.
If we get big sponsor money at some point, there's got to be a button that you can press, and it just comes down from the ceiling.
He goes, listen, you know what I think? And then we all stop and just hand him his pipe. And he goes,
this is fucking bullshit.
Oh my god, this is awesome.
But yeah. From what I was seeing and from what I heard, the guy with the skateboard was grabbing the rifle too when he shot him. And then of course the other dude ran up with a gun and hesitated.
Yeah,
and then
tried to lie about that shit. They were trying to lie for him.
And then, of course, when you find out too, like the guy was online talking. Yeah, I regret not killing that kid.
That was his friend.
Yeah.
That wasn't him. That was his friend.
Hearsay. His friend said he regretted not killing him.
Yeah.
Okay, well that still doesn't fucking look good.
But he drew his fucking weapon and pointed it at him. Kyle,
which is a good enough reason to shoot him.
Kyle pointed a rifle at him. He backed the fuck off, raised his hands, kind of held back. And then tried to fucking swing around to point at him again.
That's when he got quick draw shot.
Yeah, that's where he got his bicep blown off.
That's a good fucking shot, dude.
It's a really good, and I don't think he meant to shoot him in the bicep.
Accidental.
But it was good in the fact that he had his rifle pointed at the guy.
Red focus on gun.
Yeah.
Eliminated threat. Shot one shot.
Yep.
He left. He didn't shoot after him again. He eliminated threat.
He's an active shooter.
Same thing with the guy with
active shooter, white supremacist.
Beats his wife.
Yeah, same thing with the skateboard. Same thing with his skateboard. One shot, that guy drops, didn't shoot him anymore. This dude comes up, doesn't shoot him the first time because he dropped the gun, and then kind of did that little quick draw shit, wanted to get, cowboy on him and try to get a shot
he
off.
pointed it at him with a gun. He backs off. There's another guy approaching, so he shifts over to him. He realizes, oh, I'm going to get shot, backs off. Then he tries to pull the gun on him. That's where he transitions over and shoots his arm.
Yeah. In that scene, it did.
In that scene, like it's a movie.
Yeah.
In that scene,
It did. To me, it is justified. To me, the biggest question was he legally?
I don't understand why people are saying to me. This isn't a subjective matter.
Well, because everybody's making it an individual opinion.
That is the most Dr. D thing I've heard right there. Bro, that's official.
I mean, it's just not subjective. Like this is very well defined, and this meets every fucking definition.
Yes.
So why are people pretending like this is something that's subjective?
People don't understand the law.
Yeah,
People don't understand a lot of things. People are stupid.
It's justifiable.
What's scary to me is the reason
These
that
are the good
it's-
bubbles.
that they're pretending to make it subjective is that they have prosecutors willing to press charges because the mob demands it.
Ugh.
Well, the same thing happened
Fuck
with the
the
guy
mob.
in, what was that, Arizona or New Mexico
there
that got hit with the skateboard too, and the guy was like, "I'm going to kill you," and went to hit him, and he pushed away the other guy that was punching him and
Yeah.
shot that guy. That guy supposedly
off.
wasn't their prosecutor.
He's done.
Yeah, but
They
mayor,
press charges.
Oh yeah.
Who
there
was it? There was somebody
I
in the
think it was the
government
governor.
that was like, "Yeah,
Here's
we're going to press
governor.
charges
Yep.
on him."
Here's all the charges. And
Yeah.
Well, the
they
governor-
were like, no,
No.
go away.
No,
The
it's
governor
justifiable.
it could have been the mayor. I was specifically talking about the governor before anything dropped was saying that a militia had shot someone.
Yes.
They had no idea what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
And they put that out there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of fucking dumb
I think a lot
chaos
of those
going on.
responses, like
Am
you were
I
talking about
over-
before police even said that they were going to charge the kid, we were hearing about it. I think a lot of those are political people trying to keep the mob calm
Chase-
down and be like, "Hey, we're charging them."
Am I overreacting? I just wanted to bring it into this conversation.
No, I like this.
Am I overreacting by saying that I feel like there should be some sort of, like, when a prosecutor goes in and clearly charges someone in violation of what the law is, should there not be some sort of, like, consequences to that?
There should be.
Yeah.
But there's not.
Like, is there not any kind of established system of the federal government coming in to, like, corruption charges or anything?
Probably a slap on the wrist, and don't do that anymore.
There could be for some, or one of the step down kind of things. Like, okay, you're a piece of shit. Now, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
There should be.
That's a big amount of those. Some of the terrible agencies that have like the chiefs that are terrible and trying to convict
See,
the guys.
with chiefs, it's
Well,
more
and the-
difficult.
but political chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs
Right.
are very political.
Oh, no. I just mean it's more difficult. But with, I guess if the Chiefs are actually the ones that are pressing the charges and coming up with, I mean,
Bullshit.
I mean, if they did, you would see less knee-jerk charges like that is not going to fucking stick. It's just somebody trying to win favor so they can win the next political
what's the
next
guy?
election. You know,
what's the officer's name with George Floyd?
Shavon.
No.
Shavon. Not Shavon.
Weefa.
Common spelling.
Common spelling. Hold on.
I don't know.
Chavis or something like that.
Nope. I know that it's not Chavis.
Shaven.
Derek Chauvin.
Chauvin.
That's what I said.
Derek Chauvin
Common spelling.
is absolutely not going to get in any kind of trouble from the mere standpoint that they overcharged.
Yeah.
So part of me wonders, like, did they do that shit on purpose? Is this like
to get him
I
out
got,
of it?
Yeah, is this like I got your back kind of thing?
I
I'm
think
gonna
it's a-
fucking go over the top.
Going off the video, this is what we see in the video, and this is why he's wrong, and this
Like
is
we're
what
gonna have another Casey Anthony
he
shit.
can be convicted of. But there's a lot more.
Speaking
to it
of
than
which,
just that video.
I
Does she have
learned
another
something.
kid?
No, I learned something not too long ago. I don't know if anybody else knows this, but with Casey Anthony, apparently they missed a lot of searches because nobody checked Firefox. They didn't know Firefox was on it, and they were like, "Yeah, that's the one she uses." And when they did, there was even more incriminating searches on Firefox.
Oh, there was so much.
How to-
Full Jeopardy, bitch.
how to-
She's all fuck you.
How
There's
to
so much.
duct tape?
No, how to effectively, not strangle, smother somebody.
There's so much
Was
How
one
do
of
you
them.
need to Google that?
bad
You're a fucking idiot.
copying.
There's like a bunch of movies
that
on it
happened
already.
with that.
Yeah.
It's
I feel
Ridiculous.
bad because I just didn't pay attention to the Casey Anthony thing, and I didn't live in Florida at the time. and like everybody gets so emotional about it, and I'm just so apathetic.
No,
like,
Yeah, she killed her child and kept
You
her in
don't
a
know.
shoebox, and then
Nah, she killed that kid.
She killed the fucking kid,
She-
man.
how do you know the kid didn't die? And she's like,
What-
"Oh fuck, what do I do now?"
What did she get convicted of that?
No.
Then she didn't kill the kid.
Yeah, because that's how that
Oh,
works.
yeah.
Bam!
OJ's innocent
Bam!
too, right?
Yeah.
I
he's
mean,
very
that
innocent.
is what they
Bring back
charged her
that
with is
Bronco
killing the
dog.
kid, and that's
the
what they.
fucking book he wrote. If I did it, this
This
is
is how.
This is how I would do it.
Balls on that guy.
Made some money though.
That will do
No,
it.
he didn't. I think he
If
went
the-
to the
Doesn't
family.
he have an Instagram account?
If the
Yes.
glove does not fit,
Must
you
You
quit.
must have quit.
Yep.
But
truth.
that is what they tried to charge her with, and that's why she got off because there is no evidence that she killed that kid.
Yeah, it was an overcharge.
There's no evidence she killed that fucking kid. If they would have charged her with child neglect, they would have been good.
Yeah,
Would have won all day.
Yeah.
and you're right that I could see where you were coming from with
Edgar?
the first thing. Like when they're like, we
What's
don't
your
want to
name
send
is?
this guy to jail, so
I don't
let's
think she can hear me.
overcharge him.
Yeah.
So this way he
This is what
gets
the
off.
crowd wants.
No.
Fuck it.
I think
Let's
it's
get murder one.
Yeah, I
Once
think
that
it's a
big one.
combination of that, and then also somebody making a political move, like, "Hey, election
Of
year's
course
this
it's a
year,
political
so I want to look good for
The
the public.
nation is calling for
I'm
this.
gonna
dude's dead.
fucking pin him on everything."
This poor fucking dude's wife says, "Fuck, I'm out," because there's so much hate on him.
Was it that, or was she just didn't fucking like him?
Or which one
I
are we
don't
talking? We're talking
know.
about OJ. We're talking about
No.
Talking about-
Chauvin?
Talking
Chauvin.
about, yeah, Derek Chauvin's
Would
wife.
it be smarter to divorce to take all of the fucking things so she can hoard that?
Oh, so he doesn't have anything in his name.
Yeah, you think so?
Nothing can be
I
taken.
know. I mean, that's my conspiracy side, but
yeah.
I would say
If there's any
I
civil,
hope
if there's
I
any,
hope.
yeah, if
Yeah.
there's any financial thing
'Cause I don't-
that comes after him, he can.
because I don't think he's that
Bankruptcy, I
much of
don't
a
have
piece of
anything.
shit. So
Yeah.
I hope.
I love it though. I love the lifelong Democrat that's married to an Asian woman is a white supremacist that was out to murder a black man because he's racist.
Yep. Funny
You
how that works.
fucking morons.
Funny how that works.
All right,
I
I'm
like-
gonna go
I
get a
like-
beer. You guys have to talk now.
Dr. D. Is
Dr.
on
D is now
pause.
leaving the
Yeah,
building.
There, that's perfect.
Aw.
We need like a theme song for when you walk off.
I did want to bring up something. Do you want me to wait till you get back?
Yes.
keep talking.
The videos of Kyle actually, like there was a video supposedly of him fighting some chick.
Who?
He was like 13.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what
When
the
he was like
fuck?
a little kid, he was like fighting someone, and that's what they're using as proof of him being like, I don't know,
Fighting?
whatever the fuck they want
being
to say.
able to fight people.
Yeah,
Don't you
a
love?
piece of shit. I
Don't
guess
you
is what
love
they're trying to
the
make it out
things
of.
that they can find to fucking
I find it
show?
everywhere, right?
Yeah,
Because there
bro.
was also a video they pulled up when he was like a little kid, and like he was pretending to be a cop, so he's just making like shooting noises, bow 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 bow, pull over, and then keeps doing it. Like that's what he and
Well, I mean,
they're of course pegging that as that's what he thought being a cop would be like.
I mean, he's not wrong at this particular moment. So
A lot of shoot first, ask later.
Dude, there's a lot of OJ pages. Like, I don't know.
Are you looking up
the
OJ on
fuck-
Instagram?
Look for the blue check mark.
makes it official.
I don't even think he
I
has
can't
one.
believe
though.
it. Like
I thought he
I
had
did
one.
hear that about like them basically going after him with middle school rumors, but like I didn't realize
No,
that
there's a video.
they were literally going after him like playing as a child to say that that makes him evil.
Yeah.
How
a video
else
his
would he be
sister
evil, bro?
posted of him like bow 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 in the bedroom and saying, you know, fucking pull over, I'm a cop, bow 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 bow, pretending like he's shooting people.
Did you not do that all your childhood?
Yeah, all the fucking time.
My whole childhood was pretending to shoot people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cowboys and Indians, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Bank robbers
Cops and
cops and
robbers.
robbers. Yeah.
Cops and robbers. Yeah.
Like fucking that.
It's always been good guy versus bad
Laser
guy.
tag, Nerf, water gun. What are you pretending to?
We really were the age of fucking what is it? Super soakers,
Yeah.
Super soakers and Nerf guns.
Nerf
Fuck yeah.
guns.
Does that mean that you're going to be a shooter? I don't know. I'm confused.
Well, I mean,
I love-
hold on. We do all own guns right now.
I love the motherfuckers that have no values.
we do
so
own
they-
guns. You're right.
I don't own any of those.
I lost all mine. I mean, no, they got stolen.
Boating
no,
accident.
Boating accident. Yes.
You went fishing with all yours. And
Yes,
they lost.
because
right?
I have a boat that I fish with that I lost also.
Yeah.
I
Well, the
lost
boat
the boat
went
too.
down.
Yes, with
Yeah.
everything. Yes,
He was cleaning all
It
of
was
his
a
guns on the
friend's
boat.
off the coast of California.
But they have
Segue.
no values. So the second that something shifts, like, or they hear something that they could possibly use in their favor, they'll use it. And like, I'm not saying this is exclusive to leftists, but it is.
Oh no! Well, every political party, yeah.
It's very frustrating. But like, this isn't political party. These are people on the internet that are like, there were charges against him of him having possession of marijuana and a gun. Like, wait, but you were the one that like thinks that marijuana is something that should totally be legal, but you want to act like now it's a terrible thing.
Now it's a bad
because
thing.
it's
Now it is
convenient
terrible.
for you.
I'm glad you said that because you also reminded me of something too. I'm not that political on certain things, or try not to be at least. But it reminded me, like,
live for the politics.
like when the whole
does.
COVID thing first started, and Trump was like trying, hey, let's lock everything down or not allow people from China to fly in. It's like, oh, that's racist. You can't do that. And everybody was fighting it. And you had Pelosi. It was Pelosi in Chinatown. It's like, hey, it's fine. Come down here and do some shopping.
Yeah,
and
she
then,
came out
and
there.
the Bellagio was, hey, it's okay. Go to a movie theater. And then now, a couple months later, there's like, he should have done more. He should have locked everything down.
Oh, of course.
He fucked it all up. Like, people do have a
Thousands
short
of
memory.
People would have, thousands of people's lives could have been saved if it wasn't for the actions.
People do have a short memory, but you got to fucking remember that was just a couple months ago.
Also, Trump is
now they're saying to do everything that he wanted to do, but that at the time they were saying was scare tactics and encouraging people to leave.
Boo. I feel like it's boring talking about Trump and how much everybody sucks that criticizes him. But yeah, they do suck.
Well, no,
They're devil.
because I'm not a Trump fanboy.
Yeah,
I'm not. I just think I like to call out bullshit when I see
I'm
it, and that was some bullshit.
I would say I'm a Trump supporter.
Yeah,
I would go that far personally.
I would say
I'm a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
I did not like candidate Trump, but I like President Trump.
I get you.
I was very against him in 2016, but he has converted me over. I support him.
I'm probably still
even when he says some dumb, stupid, like some dumbass shit. Like
You've grown a lot in the last 4 years. Though.
I fucking like.
I like to label him more as a troll than anything else. He's a giant fucking troll
so like,
on a lot of the stupid shit he says.
My friends are like one of my friends is total like
I was about to say,
whack job conspiracy theorist.
we talking about us?
No,
You're talking
Acquaintances.
where?
Zoom call.
They don't count as friends anymore.
Yeah,
Acquaintances.
they're rivals.
Someone you used to know.
That I used to
Yep,
know.
that's what we think.
Anyways,
Good.
Trump's not capable of telling the truth. I think Trump tells the truth about
More than anybody else says.
So here's the thing, though. He tells the truth about important shit, and he lies or exaggerates about the dumb shit. Because Trump does say some shit that's not true.
He's one of those guys that
Like, my
strikes me.
inauguration was the biggest ever.
Yeah. Well, that's
Like, no,
Is that lying or exaggerating?
exaggerating, but
he just talks like he just fucking goes off the
Tremendous.
cuff.
It's huge. It's huge. It's
Well, like
one of the
fucking press
things-
conference, everybody's jumping down his throat because he said something about pouring bleach down your mouth or like
yeah. Drinking bleach.
Right. But then there was like basically a medical industry that had something very similar to that as a potential thing. So I think he hears these press briefings,
It just kind of
and
sticks in his
like
head.
something, and he just goes off the cuff and
Yeah.
So
One of the things too, like he strikes me as one of those guys that when you're saying things he likes, you're his favorite person. No one else is better. And then as soon as you kind of fall out of those graces, it's I wanted to fire that guy from the first day. So that kind of throws people off.
That's what I mean by he's willing to lie about stupid shit.
Yeah. So as long as you're on his side, no one better than you.
Right.
But as soon as you fuck up, it's like that guy's a piece of shit, and I wanted to get rid of him since day one. And that kind of does like throw some people off. Like, well, fucking pay attention to what he's doing.
He's a dick.
He's
There's
a
no
fucking
argument
troll
for me.
for the most part.
Like a huge, tremendous dick.
China.
Tremendous dick.
That's my favorite mask I've seen.
The China?
The China.
Yeah,
The China
of
one?
the Trump's like
China.
lips.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's China. That's so entertaining.
All right, so we have that shooting, the other shooting, and then the Daytona one.
This is
That
probably
was-
not a national story. I feel like the Daytona.
It's
So give
not
some
making,
context.
Yeah, it's
Give it
not
some
making
context.
national. So in Daytona, with Holly Hill, both police departments were looking for a suspect in a murder case. It led them to
That dude was a
a
bad
small. It looked like a motel, but it might be like a small apartment complex. But I'm pretty sure it's a motel. But anyway,
In Florida, it's hard to tell the difference.
yeah, it really is. They ended up going up to the door. They spoke to somebody on the outside looking for this particular person. The person said, "Yeah, that's who we call. That's so and so. Whatever." Verified that he was there. Went to go open the door
for him.
He opened the door for him, which gave them entry. And then as soon as the guy that we watched the video that's out right now, his body cam footage, he enters in the room. He sees the people in the back shut the door.
No, he
One guy,
runs
right?
to it.
It was one guy.
Yeah.
But when I say the people, okay, so the one guy.
There was a woman in the room, but he sees
But-
the one
right,
guy.
that's
run
why-
to
that's
that
why I
room.
Guy they were
That's
looking
why-
for. Girl, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was having him clarify.
He rushes in. He shuts the door, and then he kicks the door open, tells him to get on the ground, and the guy has a gun in his hand, pulls it, and shoots the officer right in the chest.
Yeah.
Officer dives to the right, which is in a small little kitchen area of the little place that they're staying,
Basically around the corner.
Yeah.
and he ends up taking a second because obviously he just got shot.
Yeah.
Gets back up, and then he starts shooting
Yeah.
at the suspect. So
And was still the first one in the room.
and he was still
Didn't get the fuck out of there. He stayed right there.
and he stayed there and he stayed fighting through and he stayed true. So that was pretty cool on a different upset. So I'm interested to see if anybody's gonna try to twist this story too, on everything.
He's black and he's.
I mean, it's all about narrative. It was all about narrative.
Shot him because he
What do you think?
had
What do you
a
think of
warrant.
that shooting?
I don't think anything's going to come of that. I don't think you have to worry about
No,
that.
I don't think it's a problem.
That's not what I mean. I mean, what do you think of quarterbacking? What do you think of how that went down and if he made the right choice?
I think we could have learned a lot of aspects out of that, and we could have done a lot
Slower
of
into
things
the room.
better.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck it,
I mean, he lived.
we're committed.
And he managed to get through it.
Yeah, I
So
don't give a shit.
You think-
as long as he's.
Do you
what
think
do you-
you think he should have took cover in the kitchen before opening the
What
door?
do you think?
Or
I think that if we're in it to win it, that's what we should have done.
cover in the kitchen first?
No. I mean, if we're in it to win it, then fuck it.
Kick in the fucking door. Let's see what
Let's
happens.
burn it down,
Yeah.
and hopefully we get the guy. On the perspective of other entry tactics, no. But I mean, whatever. He
It worked out.
It worked out. It worked out that somebody was on his side for that one.
I found it interesting. You know, he just got shot. He has adrenaline pumping, and I'm quarterbacking, so this is not really a critique on him. But I found it an interesting. He's in an apartment complex, and he just starts shooting through a fucking door.
Can you not do that?
I mean,
The answer is no.
if you're asking if I could not do that, the answer would be no. Because if I shot someone, I'd be responsible for murder, even if I didn't intend to.
Here's the thing: we don't know. Hold on, we don't know that he shot through the door at first. Now, I'm sure at some point he was shooting through the door because he was saying "open the door." But
No, I know he does because you can see the bullet holes through the fucking door.
Yeah, that door
he shot
is
through the door.
fucked up.
what I'm saying is, at first, like he didn't just all of a sudden get back up and then blindly start shooting in the door. We don't know if the door was open and then he tried to go to shoot it as he was shooting. Does that make sense?
Oh, like the door closed while he was shooting?
No,
and he
like
kept
the door
shooting?
was open because he kicked it open. The guy was on the other side of the room. He was against the wall. He shot the cop from against the wall, away from the door. Cop got back up and then started shooting. We don't know if the guy was in the room and did not shut the door yet. And
No,
he
it does close at some point because he also tries to open it with a bucket and
Right, so
It closes and he
from
starts
what
shooting again.
how I understood it is he kicked the door, got shot, and as kicked the door, boom, shut.
yeah.
As apartments do, like you can't kick a small ass apartment door and expect it to stay open. You kick that bitch open, it's gonna fucking go hit against the little door
It's one of
stop
those
and then
lightweight.
just close
It's
itself.
one of those lightweight interior
yeah,
doors.
it might
man.
as well
Yeah,
be
that
made
thing-
out of fucking styrofoam.
Yeah.
It's like the thin ass fucking wood.
Technically, they are made of styrofoam. If you want a nerd,
Those
Yeah.
are
going
yeah.
into it,
Yeah, interior
Th-
doors.
Those
there's
interior
ridiculous.
doors are fucking just very thin pressed wood. Those are like a wood styrofoam insert.
mix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I don't live in a rich
but
house. So
yeah.
that's
Well,
definitely
I know, but
styrofoam door.
I know a lot about doors now. I'm sorry.
kick the fucking door. I mean, you're right that I didn't see in the body cam footage because you can't see it because it doesn't even look like he's fucking aiming. Like maybe that's just the perspective of the body
is
cam.
on the corner
No,
of the,
he's
of the
aiming.
room
He's
he's
aiming.
at. Yeah.
Is he
he's a
there?
lefty.
He's aiming.
He's
He's
like
aiming.
that.
He's
Yeah.
aiming. Yeah.
Okay,
He was definitely aiming in. Whether it be he was shooting blindly at the door or not, I don't know. I want to say I would like to believe that he saw what he was shooting at.
can I switch gears slightly?
No.
Qualified immunity.
Okay.
Yes.
Because this is something that's come up quite a bit, and my understanding, I think, is lacking on it. Because I thought it was one thing, and I've heard it's possibly another. So,
Yeah, I don't know anything. About
qualified immunity, the way I initially understood it, was essentially just basically around whether you could get sued or not as the individual of like, phone near, sorry,
Yes,
I don't know if you could hear the buzz.
That's qualified immunity. Basically, is you can't sue
from
the
the
officer.
civil perspective.
Yes.
But there is also the like responsibility perspective apparently too of like qualifying immunity would come into play of like if he did shoot somebody in that apartment complex that was in another apartment, because of qualified immunity he would be immune from prosecution versus if I was getting shot at as a civilian and I returned fire and then shot recklessly through the wall and killed someone or wounded someone in another apartment, I'm responsible for every projectile that leaves.
Yes, you are.
So am I wrong in saying that qualified immunity would apply there? And then what's your perspective on that of like, yeah, fuck it. They're taking a dangerous job. So we just got to give people the leeway and fuck it. Or what do you think?
Let's go on probably the correct answer. Let's hear this. No?
It's a dangerous job. There are a lot of factors within the.
You're going after bad guys. There's no fucking.
There's a sense of danger within it, and everybody knows it.
193 so far this year gotten murdered on the job.
I don't know the number. I haven't been keeping up with it. I try not to.
Yeah, sorry.
I try not to stay in those numbers. Same with the military. I stopped looking at those a long time ago too.
Right.
Qualified immunity is a necessity because people get emotional. Emotions get involved, and you don't want to believe that said loved ones will be
criminals.
You right? Like you don't want to believe it. You want to protect them. They're your loved ones, and I get it totally 100%. But when that person does commit a crime to the point where deadly force gets involved, and that person escalates it to a certain point, and the officer has to use deadly force, then that qualified immunity is there put in place so that way if the cop is put into this dangerous position and justifiably uses deadly force, that the person that is emotional because they can't believe that their family member, friend, whatever is a criminal, and there's no way that they have the capabilities of doing this. They can't go after the officer for it, because if that were the case, then that means that every law enforcement officer out there would have to second guess everything they do, which means that they're not protecting anybody.
It's not just that we'd be losing like a shit ton of tax money to civil suits because every single criminal that got shot in the family would sue the department.
So from my understanding,
whether it's justified or not,
that's not the case of what qualified immunity is. It doesn't prevent people from suing the city and suing
they can sue the
department.
City. It's suing the individual
officer.
Yeah.
So that has nothing to do with it.
Would the officer be protected by the department, though?
Well, they have lawyers, but the qualified immunity specifically basically absolves them.
You
most
have
cases,
to come after the department, not the officer.
Correct.
Yes.
Which I wholeheartedly support. The fact that anybody would want to tear that down, I think is ridiculous. But when I hear the other, because I always try to listen to both sides, right? I don't like to be one-sided. So when I listen to other people, okay, so what's your argument for why qualified immunity is bad? And they come back with, it's not about the civil aspect of it. It's the responsibility of the officer that can do something reckless that an individual couldn't do, and that they're just basically...
So like you were saying, not being accountable for every bullet that comes out of there. Like if he, in that situation, let's say somebody in the apartment adjacent gets hit by a round because it went through the wall, that officer might not be liable for that damage.
In most cases, from how I understand it, the person that he was shooting at gets charged as if he shot the motherfucker.
Yeah, because that person got shot because of you, because I was shooting at you and that person got hurt.
That's the logic. Or like if a cop shoots another cop, then the person that they were shooting at gets charged.
Well,
I've seen that happen. Like I've seen those charges before.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily how that works indefinitely, but yes, a lot of the charges, like a lot of the costs.
I also don't know if that's directly connected to qualified immunity or not. It could be totally
like that happened with the one guy.
It happens in New York all the time.
No, but the big case that was here where officer tried to respond and arrest the guy in a parking lot. There was a shootout. He ran, and then the officer died while trying to pursue him or something. I can't remember his name right now.
Which one?
I don't know.
He went to court missing an eye, or his eye all fucked up. Now you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So one of the officers that died in pursuit of him didn't actually have an interaction with him. It was because he died in a car accident while trying to pursue him, and he got charged with that murder.
Yeah, and it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But that's what you're talking about, where whatever dies.
I don't know if that's the connection. I don't know if the qualified immunity even has a play in that at all.
Yeah,
it
but
could be totally
that's
separate.
what you're bringing up. If somebody dies while
Floyd.
trying to catch this person, that person's guilty for that person, that individual's death.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Well, all right, fuck that guy. I'm not worried about that guy. I was just trying to bring you into
Floyd in general. Yeah, fuck that guy. For the qualified immunity part, yes, that's a thing. Because of the why cops are there in the first place is because of the individual that is having a bad day, I guess is the best way to put it. And if the cop training round doesn't go where he wants it to, goes to somebody else, generally because of the qualified immunity, because of the lack of training. That's why defunding would be terrible.
I just don't get the logic of like, why does it apply to cops and it doesn't apply to the person that is in a clear self-defense scenario?
Well, it depends on the law.
No, it wouldn't apply to you at all.
Laws in general, how it's been that way forever. Because
you know me, I'm against class systems.
Because one's hold on, because I got it. Because one's a job.
Okay.
That their job is to do that. That is your job, is to protect and keep the peace. That is your
you're
job.
an agent of the city.
Yes.
Okay.
The other one is you being a citizen. Your rights to self-defense. You're still there. You're protected by the laws and rights to self-defense, but it doesn't protect you from. You don't get any immunity from a lawsuit based off of because you know.
Yeah, if I had to guess, it's because as an officer, you're not acting for yourself. You're acting
for the city,
for the department,
the people,
for the city, for
so
the
is
county,
the logic
for the state.
basically because they can still sue somebody, they just can't sue the individual?
Yeah,
probably in a
layman versus like county.
Yeah,
you can sue the individual as himself compared to you can't sue the police. I am there on behalf of the police department or the county.
He's not there because
you actually pay me to be here to solve your fucking problems.
I can understand from a civil perspective. What I fail to understand is from the criminal's perspective. Like if I can be charged while being a victim of someone shooting at me and I draw a gun and shoot him, but round goes through and hits someone else and they die, and I can be charged with that murder, versus if that happens to a cop, no such thing would happen to him. I don't understand the disconnect there.
It's probably because of that, because they're
which is not an argument to see more cops charged with that crime.
Because
it's
the city,
opposite.
because the city, the county, the state is liable for the actions of the officer.
Right,
You're liable.
From a civil perspective, I understand, but from a criminal perspective, I don't.
Okay,
is you get where I'm going?
There should be a criminal charge. Is that what you're saying?
Right,
for an individual
Like, why
protecting
is there
themselves?
a qualified immunity of a cop when it comes to criminal stuff? Civil, I totally understand. Again, because if you're going to sue a cop because of something he did, you feel like he did it wrong, you should be suing his employer, which is either the city or the county or the department, whatever. That makes sense to me. An officer should never be facing a fucking civil lawsuit for doing his job. That should never fucking happen.
What do you mean by criminal, though? You said if a cop does something criminally?
He's talking about himself, I think.
So, guy is shooting at a cop. Cop returns fire, but a round goes through the person that was shooting at him and hits someone behind him.
Okay.
He is at no point facing any kind of criminal charges related to that. But if that happens to a civilian, the civilian can be held responsible for that.
If you were to defend yourself shooting somebody and you shoot somebody behind them? Okay. Well, if I'm not mistaken, you do have qualified immunity, and you would still be going after the department as well for that round. You are still responsible, so you have to answer to the department. So the department is going to, obviously, they're the ones taking the hit, but they also are responsible for you, so they're going to probably take some sort of action against you anyway. Which
we're just talking, like, when you talk in those terms, though, whether it be financial or you're fired, that's all civil. That's not like you're facing fucking jail time. They're going to take your freedom from you.
Law enforcement officers are getting arrested, too, on certain cases, depending on what it is.
It's true. I mean, the fucking Wendy's shoot, I mean, it's happening.
They got arrested.
It's not going to stick.
George Floyd, they got arrested. I mean, so cops are still getting arrested. It's not that they're not getting held accountable for anything. Obviously, there has to be a reasoning for every, all that kind of stuff.
The argument, though, against qualified immunity is that they have special protections and people want to see those special protections taken away.
The only
Now,
special
which I
protection,
don't agree with. I think it's an overreaction, but I'm just positing to you your thoughts on
qualified immunity is based more not on the collateral damage. It's based on the person. So if I go after said person shoots at me, I shoot back and I kill that person, you can't go after me for killing that person. That's what qualified immunity is. It doesn't necessarily go beyond just what happens to that person.
So you're saying it only has civil implications?
Yes, it only
The
has,
officer can't be held accountable criminally for a collateral damage because he was acting on behalf of the department?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't posit this, and I should just do more research before talking about it.
Because there's a lot more into that, when it comes into the law, that and it doesn't mean that a law enforcement officer can just do whatever the fuck they want to do.
Of
and
course,
then get arrested.
no.
It
There's
doesn't happen
absolutely
like
limitations
Yeah.
to qualified immunity.
that.
No, there are criminal acts that can get an officer in trouble.
But that qualified immunity is between him and said person. Now, if he goes into a mall, or she goes into a mall, shoots at said person and shoots 15 people, then obviously he or she is going to be liable.
Yeah.
And it's happened
As an officer, that happens all the time in New York, and they're never held liable.
Well, New York's also New York too, and I don't know everybody's state.
I mean, obviously, every state's going to be a little bit crazy, but it's a pretty common thing for New York to fucking miss the person they're shooting at and shoot someone else.
I'm sure every state
that
probably
happens
has
at least once a year.
a different thing for that immunity. There's probably different things that they add into it.
Qualified immunity
Dr.
for
D?
all, but it changes depending on your
Dr. D, I
state.
expect an answer.
Did you?
I posited the question because I don't know.
Hey,
I was hoping I could get some knowledge from one of you all.
did you see the New York thing with the guy going into like
One of him.
What you?
No,
Both of you.
go.
The two female officers going to
we
like
need to
a
get him
convenience
serious or
store.
emotional. He can get his New York accent out. Sorry.
The two female officers go into like a convenience store /
Oh, shit,
sub
I did
place,
see that.
and
I
the guy
did see
comes
that.
in yelling and screaming. One of the officers like opens the door because his dog was caught in the door, and he fucking pulls out a knife. One of the officers runs out, leaves her
just
partner
runs away.
in the store with a guy with a knife. Yeah. I guess you would think was calling somebody, but she comes back in, and then you see her on the radio, like talking to
The
somebody.
fucking
I
guy
see
that's
no.
running the deli just busts out a knife
Yeah.
and says, "Get the fuck out of my store!" and starts
Yeah.
threatening to stab him. It's fucking
She gets like
hilarious.
one of the officers gets behind the counter trying to like
run away from him.
yeah.
Oh, and he takes the knife.
Yeah,
because he puts it
takes
on the
knife,
counter.
and then
No,
the guy ends up
he-
going outside.
No,
he
puts
does
it on the counter
He does
and he
eventually
takes
get
the
the knife. Yeah.
Yeah.
But before he pulls out his fucking knife, he's
when
like,
it gets outside, the dude gets like stupid close to a couple officers.
Well, that's
It's-
what you're going to end up getting
Yeah.
when you're putting all this fear and all these problems and you blast all this shit on the news, defund the police and everything like that.
I don't know.
Here's
I would
the
say that was
logic.
just bad training. That is horrible fucking training.
Here is the
Understanding of
here-
violence for females versus males.
here is the
Ooh,
logic
That's a topic.
behind this whole defunding. What's going to happen?
Sexist.
You defund,
I
you
get
take
that.
money away from everything from law enforcement agencies, and you will get shittier cops.
Yeah.
Undeniably.
When that first started, my
When you
first
get-
reflex was most of these problems, if not all of them, come from lack of training or lack of follow-up training.
So we need to fund
Continual.
more.
Yeah.
More
There needs
training.
to be continual training.
Better training.
When do officers get trained? In the academy, if the department gives them the training while they're hired, or if they themselves seek it out,
Depends on
I'm
the
just saying,
department.
Okay, so if the
most cops in
department-
Texas can shoot.
right? It's also a lifestyle, though.
Oh, and a department training, like
That's
they put the money there.
that was my point, though. The department trains them after the academy trains them,
Right.
right? And then the individual probably goes and does their own shooting afterwards, too.
So it's up to how the departments are run, and you can't federalize that.
Nope.
You can't mandate how individual states and municipalities are going to spend their money.
You
Well,
could mandate a certain amount of hours per training a month, couldn't you?
Depends on the fucking hot topic at the time.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's where the
listen,
training will
okay.
come in.
You might be able to say that an individual
just
officer
saying,
has to train an
even-
additional 5 hours a
even
month or a week.
imagine
if they fuck up.
Dude, imagine if that is passed, how quickly everybody will find the shittiest way they can do that.
Yeah.
It'll all become a big circle jerk. You can't force training upon people. You know, when I went to Missouri, or when I went to a CWP class in Missouri, it was mandated that the CWP class had to take 8 hours. And it was all a big fucking circle jerk. It wasn't like you were better trained than when you take a CWP class here.
Mm.
It's the same shit. They just have to fucking talk at you for longer. Like, that's all that's going to happen. When a department wants to take training seriously, they will take training seriously. But you can't mandate that shit and expect to actually
The
get
only way you
results.
could do it was to like set a certain bar for the training, like saying,
Look at
what-
schools.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is you would have to say the training you get in the department has to be at this level, and only people that train at this level can give you that and like monitor
That's
the people
how
doing the training. It would have to be
standardized tests, bro. Standardized tests.
Fix schools.
That's how the Department of Education works.
Bare minimum.
Is that they were from on high that said, well, we're going to mandate these standards and make everybody better. And really, it just turned into like, well, just
we're training all year to take.
we're just going to keep lowering the standards. You just can't. It has to be from a culture that wants to better themselves.
So, lesson, right?
So individual departments then?
Is that
No, I like the
it starts
culture
at the
aspect.
fucking house. We've talked about this before. Starts with the fucking parenting of the kids, and then it goes to the education system, educating our fucking children, and then the parents fucking raising these children to be better adults.
I mean, I like that aspect of it, but I think
But
it's
if the adults are kids themselves, they can't adult for other adults.
I think it's the how lazy people are.
Yeah.
Like the norm.
You get complacent in a job, you don't want to really train.
Normality of the police is, the fucking it's not doing a goddamn thing till that fucking 5%. Then oh shit,
Who wants to train for the 5%?
We need to know that right the fuck now.
You're
because
a
we're
crazy
about to
person
die.
for training for the 5%.
Right.
So
Take the warning.
culture-
Take the warning labels off
culture-
everything.
Culture to a certain degree, I would say it's a thing. I mean, you'll see it eventually for training that comes around every year because most big most county places, it's a certain amount of hours every year. Municipality, that the guys that are going there for training because they have to. They're just fucking going through the motions, bro, and it's not even. They're not learning nothing.
can
They're not
believe that,
doing anything
yeah.
good.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So it's I'm going to say it's more of
What do you think would fix that? More qualifying throughout the year, like more than 1 year,
how to be a better
more than once a year.
be a
Better people.
be a better man
Okay,
as a
The
Leadership.
the
I think
reason why I'm
leadership
saying it-
would be a big part of it.
The reason why I'm
but
saying
not
that-
necessarily.
The reason
Stop
why I'm saying
conforming
that
to everything.
The reason why I'm saying that though is because if once every 2 months you had to pass a physical and a shooting test, you would probably be training more, or you would not be able to work that job. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Like if you were being tested more, you would have to train more.
yes.
So if once every 2 months was a physical and a shooting portion of, as opposed to once a year, you would probably be in better shape and be on top of your training a little bit more, or you wouldn't be out of a job.
Yeah, but then
Yes.
But then there would be lack of police.
it would be lack of police.
Or something that you wouldn't quite expect or think about, like unintended consequences of that, of maybe people that are on the job for like 17 to 20 years that just say fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah.
And so you have like a lack of the senior staff in your law
Like a
enforcement.
leadership and the people that have been there for
not
years.
necessarily the lack of leadership, but the lack of
experience.
But the lack of experience, so you lose that the wisdom, I guess, that could come from kind of getting
Then maybe
their
grandfather
groove.
in the people that have been there for that long.
Majority of is generally fucking grandfathered in.
Does your head shrink the older you get?
I wish.
His doesn't.
It
No.
Do you
usually
think
gets-
that, like, was it bigger when you were younger?
No, it actually gets bigger the older I get.
So it's just kind of one
It's the
massive cranium
Same
and
with my
and a
dick.
tiny body.
Yes.
So big head, tiny body.
Oh, I know it's gonna be big head on both, and
looks
then
like a bobblehead.
nothing
I had to
else.
break this shit up. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the
Nothing
time we
else.
have for you today. I let
was
us
a
go a little bit
terrible
longer because we were talking about a
We
lot of
were
good
getting
stuff.
into
Sorry if we got a
now.
little boring with qualified immunity and
But anyway,
trying to fix police for the nation, but
let us know what you think. Also, pass the word on. I mean, it's tough right now. Society's pretty rough right now, especially at least via media standards.
love you, motherfuckers. Hope your city's not burning.
So yeah, hope your city's not burning, and if it is, go talk to the 17-year-old on how to shoot.
Get carry insurance before you go protect someone else's property.
All right, so I've got Bad Karma Live.
Never appeal to a man's better nature. He might not have one.
Nice.
Ooh.
I like that.
I mean, because he doesn't have nature at all.
I do. do.
I've got Dr. D.
Bro, it's official. Change your Instagram name.
This is clear malfunction over here. Thank you for listening.
And I got El Jefe.
Don't be a shithead.
Don't be a shithead. And I am the Nitro Panda. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit us up on everything. Yada, 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 yada. You know the rules. Stone Cold Works.
Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye. Time to smoke a cigar.